up, Blackburn Rovers fans? Back once again with another video. I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring a little bit to kind of talk about quickly, the recent video coming out of India with Tony Mowbray and some Indian journalist out in Pune about his latest comments, which actually I think of just a little bit taken out of context by some of the media outlets, including Sky Sports. And what I'm really referring to here is the fact that these words came out of Tony Mowbray's mouth, selling Bradley Dack. But anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it just yet. I want you to take a look at that video, which I have actually redone in a little bit in the style of Blackburn Roverseas talking heads. So Mowbray, over to you.
We will not this window have as many options as we will have in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, because the scouts will have covered the market. They'll know every player in the leagues that we're covering. And when I say we'll sell, let's say we sell Bradley Dack, our number 10, we should already have the next Bradley Dack in place. We bought him for a small amount of money, we're polishing him up, we're teaching him the habits, we're teaching him the way we play, and so you can sell big and you can bring in small and you can keep the team moving forward and progressing. And of course, somewhere along the line you want to fill your club up with lots of good players, and so that every player is somebody that other clubs covet. And if you feel you need to sell, you can sell, and you can. So I'm trying to give you an example. Liverpool is the big example, sold Coutinho to Barcelona, and yet look at how they've improved without their star player. They bought really well, and the team is even better than with Coutinho. And Norwich City this year, they sold James Maddison to Leicester City for 23 million. The team got better and got promoted. So somewhere down the line, we might sell a Bradley Dack. And become better because we invest the money better and the team gets stronger. When we've discussed with the owners, we've talked about a model where we can buy talented young players. Now I don't know how much you know about our team, but young players like Rothwell have come in and towards the end of the season been exceptionally good. And yet it took him half a season to even realise that he didn't work hard. He had to have more discipline in his game. He had to play to the team patterns. He'd come from Oxford where he was the best player and he did what he wanted. He played his own game and just ran anywhere. So once he got the discipline to play, he fits into our team structure now. I think £10 million player who wants 50,000 a week. We have to buy the cheaper player, but work with your recruitment. If we can't afford the £10 million player who wants 50,000 a week, we have to buy the cheaper player, but work with him. I call it like walking along a beach with pebbles. Footballers are like the pebbles, and then you can find one and you can polish it up and make it into a diamond. And that's what you have to do. You have to turn players with your coach. Professional footballer, they've all got a certain level. They can all control, they can all run, they can all pass. If you're a defender, they can all head. You have to mould your team. You have to be cleverer, you have to be cuter than other teams, and I don't think our model, and I know it isn't going to be, we can't be the team who outbids all the other teams. Exactly. Historically, Blackburn Rovers did in '95, before the owners came. Jack Walker really bought the Premier League with Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer had a choice of Manchester United or Blackburn Rovers, and he chose Blackburn Rovers because they paid him more money. And them days are not here for us anymore, and so we have to be, recruitment has to be good, the coaching has to be good, the infrastructure in the club has to be strong. We have to still be able to attract players, and if players want to go somewhere else for more money, then they go. Doesn't mean they're going to be successful. I have to engineer this caring about each other. The players, they have to work hard for each other, they have to care about each other, they want to win together, they have to run, fight and chase and know that they're doing it not just for themselves but their families, their teammates, the club, the supporters, the owners. And my job is to inspire them to want to do that. I think Wolves, Benfica, their quality is assured. They've played for Benfica and Porto and top teams in the Champions League, and I think Wolves is slightly different from when Burnley, the year before, Burnley finished 7th the year before. That's more fantastic achievement, I think. And yet I would say as this year, Burnley were struggling against relegation. So one season you can finish 7th, next season you could get relegated, because outside the top 6, the other 14 teams are all just competing to stay out of the bottom 3, really. So Wolves may be slightly different because they have this probably a pipeline to some real high quality players for not the top prices, because the agent has an agenda with the club. He's helping the club, like he's done in Portugal with Porto and Benfica, to make them have the best players from South America, because that's the pipeline. They come from South America, Brazilians and Argentinians and Colombians, and they bring them over to Portugal and they make great players in Benfica, and then they take them to where the money is now. The money is in the Premier League, and so he takes them there. He took them to Monaco the year Monaco beat PSG to the Championship. So it's
Middlesbrough.
yeah. Well, Middlesbrough had a little go. He helped Aitor Karanka, who was assistant to Mourinho. So there was the connection. He took him to Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough got promoted out of the Championship with some better players in the league. So Wolves is a little bit different from the competitive. Can Blackburn Rovers do what Wolves did? It's very difficult. But I think Blackburn Rovers can do what Burnley have managed to do, and Sheffield United have just done, and Norwich have just done. We can get promoted, but a few things have to all align up. We have to get recruitment right. We have to get the spirit of the team right. The fans have to buy back in and come and help the team over the line in the tight games. And if all that happens together, then we have a chance, like a lot of other teams in the Championship, to get to the Premier League. And then when you're in the Premier League, really you are one of 14 teams trying to make sure you don't finish in the bottom 3.
So folks, there is Tony Mowbray's comments out in India regarding Blackburn Rovers as a whole. Now, what Sky Sports have gone and done, taking those words and kind of blown it out a little bit out of proportion, saying things like, we might have to sell Bradley Dack. Now, that is not exactly how I heard it. I don't know how you heard it, but what I heard is him actually talking about Blackburn Rovers' model in the present day. Now, obviously, way back when in the 90s, we were buying players left, right, and cellar and selling them for good money, taking losses, whatever. But that was in Uncle Jack's days. In these days, under Tony Mowbray, especially recently, we're trying to find players that are considered a little bit rough around the edges, not the finished article, kind of craft them and then hopefully sell them on. Now, Bradley Dack falls into that category of a player that we did buy for back in the day. It was, well, in League One standards, it was quite a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it was peanuts, £750,000, and we are now rumoured to be wanting around about 15, 18 million for the lads. So that is good return of business, and realistically, if Rovers were to be offered that money, it would be stupid for us to say no. So what he's saying is not the fact that we're going to sell Bradley Dack. We might sell Bradley Dack, but you know what he's trying to explain to the journalist is that, you know, we're not Leicester City, we're not Wolves, we're not Manchester, we're not any of the big boys where they can go and spend ridiculous amounts of money. We are considered small fry right now. We are trying to buy little gems, little pebbles on the beach, and hopefully turn them pebbles into diamonds. Bradley Dack is a diamond. He was once a pebble. So that's what he's trying to say, that, you know, if a bid comes in, it'd be stupid enough to say no and blow up the chance of getting £18 million back into the Rovers coffers to maybe find 18 new Bradley Dacks, which we can sell later on 2 years down the road for if you sell them all together for £200 million. It would be stupid. It'd be stupid enough. So that's what he's saying. He's not saying that he's going to go out and try and sell Bradley Dack. But on the flip side, I just wonder. I wonder what went on with the gaffer out in India with the owners. When I first saw this video, I jumped to conclusions thinking he was actually speaking to an owner and not a journalist. And I thought maybe he's trying to justify or trying to get more money out of them by maybe perhaps hinting at selling Bradley Dack. But that's not the case. I don't believe. I am not saying that Bradley Dack will be 100% a Blackburn Rovers player come kick-off for the new season. I hope he is. I think the chances are he is. It's just, you know, obviously we're all in the dark a little bit as to what went on in India, how much funds are going to be made available, if there are going to be funds made available, if there aren't going to be funds available. Has he discussed the prospect of then selling to buy? And if that is the case, then I think some of our prized assets, David Raya, Bradley Dack, could be sold in order to try and find 5 or 6 new Bradley Dacks you know what I mean, like, you know, diamonds in the rough, to then help us kick on further. You know what I mean? So yeah. Let's just chill out a little bit. It is, you know, I have worked in the news industry as well for a couple of years, and there are periods of the week, of the month, of the year where there is slow news. And today, or in this period, this time of day, or this time of the year, it is slow news for Sky Sports outlets and sports outlets. You know, they want to drag the Champions League talk out as long as they can, the Championship playoff talk as long as they can, because they've got nothing else to talk about. It's all ifs, ats and maybes right now. They're all the players are on holiday and all the kind of good stuff, so there's no real concrete deals going through, or if there are, there's only one or two. So they're trying to take words of wisdom, blow it up into something, and hopefully eat up a minute or two on their news roster. So chill out, relax. You know, for the time being, Balidak is a Blackburn Rovers player. Yeah, just relax. Anyway, folks, I am about to head off to the beach. Yes, right, in Georgia. That's right, the deep south, about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is around about 35 Celsius. Gonna hit the road there. I will try and keep my ears out for any Blackburn Rovers content, and if so, you'll get it in a style of video just like this, because I'm leaving all my gear behind, boys and girls. But anyway, hopefully you are having a good summer. I know a lot of you guys haven't started summer, but you know what I mean. Hope you have a good, enjoy yourself. Hopefully Blackburn Rovers will come with some good news soon. Some big exciting players coming in and all that kind of good stuff. But until then, relax. Tony Mowbray's got this, bad boys. Tony Mowbray's got it. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.